I want to just go over lab 2 for this week. In lab 1, you actually saw that you had an e-science activity and a paper lab activity. E-science is an online site that you would have received an access code for via email. If you do not receive one, you need to contact me ASAP. Your paper lab manual, this lab manual is what you would have purchased from the bookstore. So you can see that there. Now, in the beginning, the first 6 labs, we don't cover everything in your paper lab manual. So you'll see that bits and pieces of it are used. After week 7, we will use it 100%. This eScience, because this is an online lab course, this eScience website allows us to do virtual simulated labs. So you get credit for this science class. All right, so this was lab 1. You can see that all your assignments need to be submitted in a PDF document. Let's move on to lab 2. In lab 2, you guys will see that there is only an e-science lab. There's no paper lab. Now, I do have you reference to your paper lab because there's a great summary of how to do a graph. Also, Colin Yeager, Dr. Colin Yeager, is an instructor here at MCC. He teaches Bio 110 too. He has put together a short video clip on how to conduct or how to properly do a graph. Okay, here is some graphing paper there. Please do your first graph by hand. If you'd like to do other ones by Excel or whatever, that is fine, but the first one needs to be done by hand. Okay, so this week we're just doing an eScience lab. So you're going to go ahead and access your eScience lab here. And then the eScience always has a worksheet that accompanies it. You can access that directly from the site or you can access it here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. With your eScience labs, you will always see some background on this. Now, the background here is very important that you read through because guess what? We get our midterm. We have a lab midterm coming up in week 7, and we will get some information from here. Now, you'll see some practice questions. Also, when you go on to begin your actual lab, they give you another practice quiz here. But the assignments and procedures, this is the actual lab. Now, this document right here, this is the same document that is found right here. All right, so let's go ahead and click our exercise. You can see below we have a data sheet there to put our data, and we will begin our simulated lab. I'm not going to run through this in entirely with you, but I will show you that you can see that you're clicking these buttons. And sorry, I should have clicked through that fast, but hold on one second. Okay. Definitely read everything that you have here. So this gives you your temperatures that we're working with here. Label your test tubes or your beakers, and then you're going to add the hydrogen peroxide. You can add that to each one. And so this will walk you through step by step. You'll conduct the experiments. You got to go through. There's no shortcut with this. There's no like skip all the way to the end. You have to click all of these buttons here. And so I'll let you guys do that. But once you guys have taken your data, okay, so remember in the beginning there was a data sheet there. You're going to complete your worksheet. And there is your worksheet right here. So feel free to type it in or write it out by hand and take a picture of it. If you want to save some paper, type it in. Here's your data sheet here. It's just repeated right here. Here it tells you to create a graph. It says to use Excel, but I'd like you to do the first one by hand. You can see that there's a series of questions that are found after that. So 6 questions. So this is what you will submit here. eScience worksheet, and then also your graph. And that is it for week 2 lab. Let me know if you have any questions.